Okay, so Steven spends most of his time in his crusty chair playing some Roblox game. And he gets hungry. After he gets hungry, he goes outside, gets a hot pocket, and throws it in the microwave, and that's what he eats. At the end of the day, he watches some love story or some cartoon that he's watching, right? Or an anime that he's watching, whatever it may be. He watches and he comes across a couple slash a love story. And what ends up happening is he asks himself, why can't I find the one? Why can't I find the person who's gonna make me happy? Right? And so he contemplates this over and over, and then he gets depressed, and then he comes across this vast majority of this heartbroken music: Juice WRLD, Lil Peep, XXXTentacion, and all these people. And then he just falls into this narrative that if you find certain love, if you find this girl, this woman, she will save your life, and she will, be your messiah, or be this person that's gonna switch up everything in your life and turn it around, right? You can be like that guy, or you could be like Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, who was lost in his grind, and he did not care about relationships. He didn't care about finding a good wife. Obviously, like, he wanted a good one, but that was not his main focus. And most of the time, you know, including me back then, my main purpose was to find the perfect girlfriend or to find a relationship. I had so low standards. I would just go on Instagram and DM random girls for attention, right? And so when we do this, the thing that happens is that we degrade ourselves. Instead of focusing time on improving ourselves, the thing that happens is we try to chase it. So let me use an analogy here. What if you want apple cake or apple pie? What if you just keep chasing the apple pie instead of finding a way to get that apple pie? You're never going to reach the apple pie, right? If you focus mostly on the goal instead of finding a way to reach that goal. So what did the Prophet, peace be upon him, do? He just grinded all his time. And that's what we should do. When we're young, we shouldn't be caring about relationships. We shouldn't even be caring about who we're going to marry at this age. But the story, this West, this ideology, the red pill, feminism, whatever it may be, they have put and ingrained on us that we should care about love, we should care about relationships. When I go to school, I'm not gonna lie to myself, I feel lonely. I see people holding hands, I see people hugging. I'm jealous of that, right? But I'm not gonna lie, because if I ask myself, do I want that? No, I don't want that. Why? Because those people are not living the way I would want to live my own life, right? But I could feel the loneliness inside of me saying, I wish I had that. I wish I could say a girl, I love you, or be in a relationship and hug a girl. But at the end of the day, you must remember that that is just instant gratification. You, as of right now, if you were a young man, must build yourself up, because that's what you were meant to do. So the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, he was building up his business, He was building up trading skills. He was building up, his reputation towards his people. He was, overall being and leveling up himself as a man. Because let me ask you a question. If you find a girl right now, right, be completely honest and let go of your ego. If you find a girl right now, would she be the utmost highest value that she can be right now? If you were to find a girl, let's just say you found a girl right now, you are not gonna find a good girl, because I'm not trying to insult you, because even me as well, we're not in the place that we want to be in life yet. So if we're not in the place that where we want to be in life yet, what does that mean? We're not gonna find the woman that we want. Why? Because we're not there yet. So the person that you're gonna find right now, if you were to choose and find a relationship right now, she's not gonna be up to your standards. Either you lower your standards, or you're just coping. So what is the main point of the video? The main point of this video that I'm trying to gain across is that we should stop caring about, this belief and this loneliness slash relationship of where people are dating and focusing on that. And we should just focus on building up ourselves as a man. Because, there's this cool thing that, a self-improvement named Hamza, a self-improvement YouTuber named Hamza, he said that, there are a thing above the, top 1% of man, because that usually the top 1% of man are people who have Bugattis, have the best physiques, are famous, and then they find a beautiful model girlfriend. But there is a level above that, and it's 0.001%, and those are the religious families. But he is also a top 1% man, right? So let's just say he's rich, right? And him and his wife are both pious, and they're just really like religious people, and those are the very top majority people. And that's the thing that people won't tell you, because all the red pill movement, all the red pill people will try to give you this basic ideology of thinking where you can get happiness from validation type of things, the 10,000 women on the freaking bed, and then the Bugatti, and then everybody's looking at them and saying, oh, I wish I could be like that. But at the end of the day, that's not your purpose in this life. Your purpose in this life is to be the best possible person you can be in the eyes of God, right? So let's recollect all the thoughts that I just spurt out right now, right? Build yourself up as a man, because in this time of your life, if you're a young man just like me, at this time, you shouldn't be thinking about marriage. You shouldn't be thinking about your girlfriend. Why? Because you are not a man yet, right? We are not men yet. We need to go through pain. We need to go through hardship to craft ourselves as a man, to be worthy of an actual woman. Because, if I were to look at my younger self right now, I would just sit down and tell him, bro, you're not even a man yet. Or, like, I didn't have a job before, and I wasn't making any money, no income back then. And I would just look at him and say, like, you don't even have a job yet, and you're rushing things, and you really want a relationship already, and you're just rushing things too fast in terms of relationship. And honestly, I think it's because of, entertainment on the things that they put on us. I was watching many anime, and I would see Naruto, Sakura, I would see, all these people in relationships, and it just made me feel lonely. And yeah. And and I also like to add, in the end of the grind, when Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was lost in his grind, what happened? He didn't go to a girl, right? He wasn't thinking of marriage. Marriage was not in his mind. The only thing that was on his mind was, spreading Islam and making him like a better person. Just, he was basically on self-improvement, right? So he was just on his self-improvement journey. He was improving himself, being a better person. And once he was lost in the grind, Allah sent Khadija, right? So when he sent her, the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, he said, but like, what is that word called when you describe? He described her as, she is one of the best things that happened in my life. One of the best things that happened in my life, because she believed in me when no one else did. And finding a woman like that is one of the most beautiful things. A woman who believes in you when no one else does. That is one of the most beautiful things. But no, you know what society tells you now? No, that's not a high value woman. A high value woman is not someone who believes in you when no one else does. A high value woman is the one who posts Instagram, who has 10,000 followers, who has, the perfect hourglass body. And we listen to that. Why? Because that's what society says. So who are you going to listen to? Are you going to listen to society, or are you going to listen to God? What is more important to you? God or society? What is more important to you? Validation of others or the validation of God? You must see that all these things that are placed in the world are all tests from God. So whether you choose to follow him, or you choose to follow your desires or follow society, it's on you. On the day of judgment, you will be put in front of him, and he will ask you all the things that you did. and you will have to be accountable for your actions. So again, when we're young, we should just be building ourselves up. Put dating, marriage to the side. Improve our relationship with God. Improve ourselves into the man that we want to be. Because think about it this way. If you have a sword and you're going to take it to war, what if you took the sword and then you rushed it? You just took the sword without it being what is that word called? Without it being built. You just took the sword and it was not built yet. It's just the handle. You're gonna die, right? It's gonna be a bad sword. But if you took the time to take the sword, put fire on it, put pressure on it, exactly like us men, right? Building the sword up and then taking it to war, what will happen? We will have a better result. And a better result will lead to a better life experience overall. It's about delayed gratification. So forget about all the instant gratification desires that you're having and just improve your life, bro. And that's honestly the thing that I would say to my younger self, who was so, set on this goal of trying to find the one and she's gonna save me. No one's gonna save you except yourself. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that He does not help those first who do not help themselves. Allah, He will bless you with things. But you need to first help yourself. You need to first lift your finger up. First you need to lift your finger up and do the work and show Him that you truly want it. And when you truly want it, what will end up happening is He will bless you with it. And if He doesn't, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala promised that if He does not give you something, what happens? He will give you something better. And that's one of the most powerful things. If He closes a door, another one opens and it is much better. And you just need to trust in God, put in the work and have faith. And that's enough for me. Improve your life and be the best possible man you can be. Please God, please your family, please, your future self. Make sure your future self looks back at you and say, thank you, younger self, for putting in the work. Thank you, younger self, for doing what you did. Make him proud. Your future self is in the hands of you. So whatever you do right now, your future self will be that result. That's enough for me. Again, be the best possible man you can be. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.